So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go through this presentation, talk about working your CRM, and then I am absolutely up for having some open questions after a free discussion, because sometimes, when we talk about these things, you're going to have a lot of questions. So I would just ask that we wait maybe till the end, just write them down, the things you want to ask, and then we can go through that. So I think I should start. So welcome, everyone. I'm Steve. We are doing working your CRM, and I think it's a great time to go through this because it is a little bit quieter over the holidays for realtors, and everyone wants to ramp up for the spring market, which is usually 60% of your business. So this gives you great time. If you're not using your CRM or you're just not understanding how to utilize it, then this is a good time to do that. So without further ado, what is a CRM? So a CRM, real estate customer relationship management system. Some people call it a client relationship management system. It's basically a tool that helps a real estate agent manage and organize their interactions with clients and potential clients. So when talking about a CRM, CRM is just a place to store all of your contacts. You're able to categorize it. You're able to send them emails, reach out, automate things. And that's basically what a CRM is. It's a place to manage your contacts. Working your CRM. What CRM do I use? It's a bit challenging because there are a lot of CRMs out there. There's a lot of companies that promote their CRMs as the best. There's different types of CRMs. There's lead generating CRMs. There is sphere of influence CRMs. And I will be honest and say that no CRM is the best in the world. If there was one that did everything perfectly, then everybody would be using it. The good news for us and with Century 21 is that we have Remarketer. And Remarketer, in my opinion, is a fantastic all-around CRM. It's also very easy to use. But to let you all know, there is also a box standard one that Century 21 Canada provides called MoxieWorks that you all have availability to as well. And I'll go through a little bit about that after. There are other CRMs you probably heard of: Follow Up Boss, KV Core, Buffini, Constant Contact, Agent Locator, and literally the list does go on. There are so many CRMs out there, and I will try and debunk some of that because I'm sure some of the agents have heard of other agents using different ones they pay for, etc. I do have to say that I champion the Remarketer because also it's free to you, but it's just a great all-around CRM and it's very easy to use. Now, currently, other people have CRMs without even realizing that they're using it. Your mobile phone is a CRM. It's a place where you can store notes, you can put addresses in, phone numbers, contact names, and I would hazard to guess that probably 30% of agents out there literally do not use a CRM, they just use their phone. Some people use Excel spreadsheets. Some people just use sheets of paper, and other people don't have a CRM. They just base it on their memory, which can be challenging as we get older and as we get more clients. So what I would say about having a CRM and the benefits of it are, if you can answer these questions, then you're doing quite well. How many clients do you have addresses for? The reason I think Aaron always pushes for addresses in that inside your CRM, because the argument can be, well, I have their email, I'm sending them a drip feed campaign, what do I need their addresses for? And my argument would be, if you don't know where someone lives, then how close a relationship do you have with that person? And then that leads me to the next question: how good is your relationship with them? Because if you can't tell me where the address is of someone that you have in your sphere of influence, then how are you doing pop buys? How are you mailing them a holiday card, a birthday card? You're not really nurturing that relationship as well as you could. That's why we always push to see if you can get addresses. And when's the last time you contacted them? So everyone always likes to talk about, I have 100 people in my CRM, I should be doing quite well. But if you're not contacting them on a regular basis, it's out of sight, out of mind. And what you want to do is you want to be front and center to all of your clients so that whenever they think of real estate, they literally think of you as the go-to person. And the final question is, are they an A, B, C, or D client? And I'm going to go through what that means. A lot of people classify or tag their client lists different ways. Some of them do it geographically. Some of them do it based on if they were buyers or sellers and that. But I would have to say, statistically, it's tried and tested. The A, B, C, or D method is absolutely hands down the best way to do it. And I'll show you why that is. So when we're talking about categorizing your clients, we're talking about A, and A is an advocate. Does anybody know what I mean by advocate or what I mean by an A client? I'm just curious if anybody's brave enough to say. Anyone? No, everyone's quiet. Okay. A lot of people.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
An advocate is someone who advocates for you. They're the ones finding you business and sending you great leads.
Absolutely, Scott, you were bang on. So an A client is not someone you're doing business with. An A client, I mean, I have a friend of mine, Ed Darlington, that I think he's referred me. I bought and sold, I think, 5 houses through Ed. I've never bought and sold for Ed, but anytime somebody talks to Ed about needing real estate services, he always says, oh, my buddy Steve Warren, he's the greatest, etc. He is an advocate. So he is an A client to me because that person is generating business for me. So that's what an advocate is. And B stands for business. So a B client is someone you are doing business with, you've done business with, or you're about to. And then C is purely a contact, someone that you know, someone that knows your name. And D is the question is, do I delete this person? And I'll go through each one in more detail to understand why you're tagging them. And just to reiterate, if you're using Remarketer, which I hope you are, and we can go through that, when you're tagging your database, where you do the tag, I would put brackets around it. So I put a bracket, then a letter A, then a bracket for an A client, bracket B for a B client. The reason you do that is because when you want to quickly search your A, B, C, or D clients, you don't want it to bring up every name that has an A in it. So you put the brackets around it, and that way you can search your A clients, your B clients really quickly in Remarketer. So advocate, a client that champions and refers you to everyone. It does not mean they have bought or sold with you, but that doesn't matter. Technically, they're the most important client and statistically will bring you 2 deals a year. Everybody knows at least 2 people that are buying or selling properties over the course of a year. And if that advocate is championing you every time, you're looking at 2 deals a year. So concentrate on that relationship with those advocates all year long. And what I mean by that is we talk about, getting in front of your client, having the touch points and that. It's going above and beyond with that advocate. If you know that that advocate is bringing you possibly 2 deals a year, you're talking potentially $30,000, $40,000 in revenue. Don't be afraid to spend a little money on them. And what I mean by that is it's not always about money, but it's, if you want to buy them something just as a gift, something nice, because that's an advocate, you buy them a nice watch for a couple $100 or something, and they'll remember that and they will constantly sing your praises. And it's not just about that, it's giving them time. It's just about nurturing that relationship. An advocate is definitely the most important person you want in your contact list. Business, which would possibly be the majority or just under the majority of the people in your contact list. They are a client that you are currently working with, a client you have worked with in the past, or a client you will be working with in the future. So I would hazard a guess that in a contact list, CRM, maybe you have 5 or 6 advocates, and the B ones are usually what most people think are A, they're people that you've done business with or you're about to do business with. And what you want to do is you want to provide fantastic service to that person because they are the greatest advocate. Someone that's already worked with you, done business with you, thinks you are an expert in your field, they are going to advocate for you over and over and over. And what happens is as soon as you get a referral from somebody that you've done before, which I think a lot of you probably have, then they become an A client and you can tag them differently. So that's probably what I would do. Just taking a look at this chat, which I can't see, Debbie, unfortunately. Yeah, if somebody's asking a question in the chat, I will get to them after for sure. Contact.
Yeah, there's nothing in right now.
Okay. A contact that knows you by name, but you have not done any business with. So when I talk about a contact, it could be that every day that you go to Tim Hortons and you get to know the person at the front thing and you eventually work up the courage to say, hey, I'm a realtor, why don't I put you on my list? That's a contact. So you've never done business with them. You don't really know them that well. They're more of an acquaintance or something. And what you want to do with the C clients is you want to start nurturing them and converting them into B because you want to start doing business with them. So contacts, staying in touch and building the relationship is ultimately important. And we'll talk about how you determine who you put in your CRM if you've never done it before. We'll go through that. But a lot of your C's, just by nurturing them, reaching out to them once every 3 months, maybe 2 months, maybe you can convert them into a B. And then the last one, which I have a lot of questions about usually with agents, is the delete. So what I would challenge you to do is pick up your phone, go through your contacts, and I guarantee you probably have 10 or 15 people that you're like, I don't even know who that person is. I have no idea. So do you know the person in that contact? If you don't know the person, they are a D category. And I have a few of those on my phone. I probably have, from doing real estate, probably 2,000 contacts in my phone, and I probably don't know who 300 or 400 of them are. And the amazing thing is, there's been studies showing that the human brain can only remember recognition of up to 1,500 people at a time in their life. So as people fade away in your life and other people replace it, it never gets more than 1,500. So scientists are saying that you can remember your close friends. So that's 15, 20 people. And then above that is your 100 people that you remember names of and remember who they are. And after that, it starts to be recognition. And it's the same for your clients. So if you're not reaching out to your clients on a regular basis, you will start to become, oh, I remember that guy. I remember that lady. I'm not sure. I think she's a realtor. And you don't want that. You want them to be converted into Bs. So Ds are people you don't remember. Before you delete that person, it could have been a plumber that came to your house 3 years ago, and for whatever reason, you have his contact name in your phone. I would challenge you to say, if they're in your CRM, before you delete them, it's an opportunity to call them and reconfirm who that person is. And it can be an awkward conversation. That's okay. You make light of it. You say, hey, it's Steve Warren. It sounds crazy, but I have you on my phone. And I didn't want to delete it. Can you remind me of how we know each other? And that person might say, I have no idea. Then yes, you can delete. But they might say, oh, I was your plumber 2 years ago. I did. Let's remember. Yeah, you had the concrete driveway or something. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I'm a realtor. Hey, do you mind if I send you some newsletters? All of a sudden there is C, and you're changing them from D to C. So there's a great opportunity there if you don't know who that person is, because it could be the one person you delete that it's all timing with real estate that they were just about to sell their property. And again, you should clean up and check your CRM contacts annually. So if you only have a few people in your CRM, that's a different conversation. You want to add to that. But if you have 500 people in your CRM and realistically, you don't even know who half of them are, it's an opportunity to clean that up, reach out to people, and keep your CRM up to date. So let's talk about Remarketer. So Remarketer is the option or the choice that we chose for Century 21 Heritage. And I'm going to give you a bit of background on Remarketer. Century 21 Canada, same as any other brokerage, Royal LePage, Keller Williams, Remax, they all have their box standard CRMs that they provide to their agents as part of doing business. Some of them use KV Core, some of them use other ones, Follow Up Boss. The benefit of Remarketer is that it was custom done for us. Aaron worked with them directly, very closely, and I think Debbie does too, and I think a few other people did too, to get it to the point where it's actually working for us. And what I mean by that is C21 Canada has a CRM called MoxieWorks. And when we started looking at MoxieWorks, it was really in its infancy when they switched over. I don't know if you remember that, Debbie. Do you remember when that first started? And it just didn't give us all of the things that we needed at the time. It was pretty standard, but it wasn't localized the way Remarketer is for our local markets. So Aaron went out and sourced Remarketer. And I think he did a great job because Remarketer is very easy to use. It's very intuitive, and it's free for all Century 21 Heritage agents. So anybody who's not using Remarketer right now, I would say, please reach out to your manager, reach out to Debbie, because we will get you on Remarketer, and it means you can be building your business. It's just the fundamental basics, having your CRM up to date for doing real estate business. So Remarketer, the reasons why I like it so much is the ease of use. It is so simple to use that I can do a custom email to a client that looks very slick in probably a minute and a half. It has seamless integration with the website, with open houses, with the HomeSpot app, with new construction. Anybody who hasn't been using Remarketer, I strongly advise you to reach out just to find out what it can do for you, because in terms of the website, when I say seamless integration, And I'll go into it in more detail, but even the way you can pull your listing in and you can pull it into your website as a splash page, it's a lead gen. The way it works with open houses, where historically we would go to an open house or we'd host an open house and we'd have a little piece of paper to ask people who they were to come in, and you'd try and follow up with them, or you'd have an Excel spreadsheet. Not anymore. Now there's a QR code. They can log right in. You just scan it. They answer 3 or 4 simple questions. And as soon as they do that, it goes right into your CRM as a lead. And then it's in there. It sends you an email confirming. It's just seamless. Same with the HomeSpot app, with the new update that's just come out. Now every client that's using the HomeSpot app, as soon as they log in, that sends into Remarketer as a CRM contact, which is fantastic. And new construction. I know that Debbie and Ed work really hard on the new construction. It is amazing how fast you can pull in a new build and send an email to a client. That email, when they ask for more information, it actually goes to you. It doesn't go to the builder, which means that we can make sure and ensure that you're getting your commission. And it looks really, really professional. It essentially has your name on it. It's your website, but it looks like you're representing the builder in a fantastic way. So strongly recommend you take a look at Remarketer. And just to go into a little more detail, it's custom and automated nurturing. So we all know that we can set up the monthly newsletters, and I encourage you guys to do that. But I would say in terms of Remarketer, the monthly newsletters are just a way to keep in contact. I would be using it for so many more things. I'd be looking at the localized reporting and analytical tools, which means that you can go right down to an area, Newmarket, Aurora, Richmond Hill, Thornhill, Hamilton, and you can drill down into just townhouses, or I want to know what the market's doing with detached homes or condos. It is amazing. And all of that is seamless into doing custom emails and sending that to your client. It also has the task, event, and calendar reminders. I don't want this to be a lesson on Remarketer, but it doesn't matter what CRM you use. I'm just using Remarketer because it's ours and it's great, but it has task reminders. It has events and calendar reminders. And what it does is it organizes your life in terms of your business. You are an independent contractor that's trying to build your business. Utilize the tools that are provided for you. They're free. They're great in terms of tasks. So what I would do when I was selling is I would go into Remarketer and I would go through my contact list. And at that time, I probably had about 120. And what I would do is I would turn around and I would say, okay, every single person that's in there, I would create an event or a task and say, call this person next week, call this person in 2 weeks. And I would have it that every morning when I got up and had my coffee, it would tell me who I was to call today. And it was great because it just reminded me. So, oh, I haven't talked to Dan in 3 months and it's telling me to give him a call. And it doesn't even have to be a conversation about real estate. Remarketer is just that tool that's reminding you. And again, like you said, you can use your phone for that. You could use something else, but having it all in one place is the benefit of having a CRM, because you could put a reminder on your phone, but are you really going to, is it going to work out with auto email sends and that you could say you'd schedule with Google, but the CRM is built for the realtor to keep them organized, to keep them in contact on a regular basis with their clients. So steps to having a strong CRM work for you. I would say this is the most important, especially for those of you who are on the fence saying, oh, I've gone this far without a CRM. Do I really need one? You do. Load all of your contacts into the CRM. And when I say all of them, you'll say, oh, my cousin, she's not going to use me because she knows a realtor, or she's a realtor. That's irrelevant. I know lots of realtors whose sister didn't use them for real estate because someone else was sending them more stuff and they thought they were more professional. I would say to you, every single contact you have, put into your CRM. And then once that's in there, then start categorizing A, B, C, and D. And then you can determine if you're going to delete any after. But I would absolutely say put every single person in your CRM. And if you're concerned about them saying, oh, they don't want to get an email from me, there's always an unsubscribe. And sometimes people don't even know what they want. Sometimes people don't know that they're looking for an investment. And by you sending them a new construction thing, they go, oh, actually, yeah, maybe I will do that. It's all about timing with real estate. So load all your contacts into the CRM, fill in as much contact info as possible. So that is birthday, address, email, telephone number, as much as you can. And the argument will be when you're downloading from your phone, let's say, and you're putting it into the CRM, that you only have phone numbers and maybe the odd email. It's a great opportunity to reach out to these people and say, hey, it's Steve, happy holidays and that. I'm just cleaning up my contact list and I realize I don't have your home address. It's crazy. I've known you for so long. Oh, what is it? Bang, bang, bang. You put it into your address. Oh, what's your email again? If they don't want to give it to you, fair enough, but there's no harm in asking, especially if that person is at least a C client, which means they know who you are. So most people don't get offended with that. Turn on nurturing. There's been a few people I've had in the office training with Remarketer, and for whatever reason, they turned off their nurturing. Nurturing just means that they will receive automatic notifications. How I look at that is, let's say you're not a full-time realtor yet, you're trying to make that transition, you still have a day job. The good news is that it's working for you in the background, even when you're not. So your potential client has no idea that you're driving Uber or something. They just think you're doing real estate full time because nurturing's turned on and it's auto sending emails and notifications to them. Tag all your contacts A, B, and C. And again, it's very important for organizing. And again, I could say D as well, but D is the possible delete. You want to have everybody in your A, B, C. D is there until you reach out and figure out who they are. Set reminders and daily tasks. So often as a realtor, the biggest challenge is knowing what to do in the day. You wake up, again, have your tea or coffee, and you're like, what do I do today? And sometimes realtors just don't know what to do to create business. So again, outside of this conversation, I would say reach out to your manager and have a conversation about setting an agenda for yourself. What do you do on Monday at 9 o'clock? What do you do at 10 o'clock? What do you do at 11? And I always tell realtors, run that on a 4-week rotating basis. And then if there's certain things that are working for you, do it longer. If there's things that aren't working, don't do it. But there are so many things we can be doing. We always talk about the door knocking. We talk about the cold calling. Those are all important for feeding your sphere. But I would say that 80% of your business is coming from your CRM, your sphere of influence. These are people who already know you. These are the people you should be concentrating on the most. And by setting reminders and daily tasks, what it's doing is it's reminding you to reach out to these people, to contact these people, being front and center so that they remember that you're a realtor. And actually use your CRM. So many people talk about the CRM and they don't actually use it. If you build that into your lifestyle, if you build that into your daily routine of using your CRM, I guarantee you will see results. There's no other way about it. There's no magic in real estate. It's literally hard work and staying in contact with people. It's relationship building. So just going to show you a couple screenshots from Remarketer just to get you an idea of how easy it is and how nice it looks. Because I've looked at other ones. I've looked at Follow Up Boss, Agent Locator, KV Core, and some of them have some great things. Some of them have some terrible things. But there's not one solution. But I would say in terms of ease of use, Remarketer has it hands down, and the look of it is nice and easy. So if we look at this on the left-hand side column, we can see that Listing Manager is highlighted. So if you look into the main area, I just pulled some random ones. So you've got Mill Street, Innisfil, Commerce Valley Drive, Markham, West Beaver Creek. So what this is when you pull this into Remarketer and your own listings, it basically means that you can use it in a custom email. You can send it out to people. It means you can click on the little blue 3 lines that are at the right-hand side, and you can click on Open House, and it creates a QR code. It's all seamless. So sometimes if you're sending prospect searches to clients through Treb, through Stratus, I used to do that a lot. I would send prospect searches and hope that people would contact me and say they like a house. I have a different idea now. With your CRM, pick 2 or 3, especially if you have a client that's been sitting on the fence, you've been sending them stuff for weeks and they're not really committing to going looking at a property. Pick 1 or 2 properties that you think fits the bill for them, that checks all the boxes. Pull them into your CRM. It takes seconds. You just click on the Add New button, punch in the MLS number, and bang, it's in your CRM. Now you can create a custom email, send it to that client, and it looks beautiful because it pulls out all the information on that property, puts the local schools, all that stuff. It creates a splash page essentially on your website for them to see. And you can say, we need to go see this Saturday. It's the perfect house. Have a look. And it looks so professional, and it takes 30 seconds. It's so fast. That's why I like Remarketer. Also, if we go down one more from Listing Manager, we look at Contact Manager. Here's where all your contacts are in front and center. So if you take a look at, for example, if you see down, it says Judy Dodlin. So it says app. So that person would be in there because they actually downloaded and installed the HomeSpot app, and it pulls it right into your Remarketer, and you know how you know them because they're tagged as someone that's using your app. So what's great about that is with your contacts, all your contacts are here. You can tag them all, and don't look at mine because they're not tagged the same way, because I've got Debbie in there. They're a little different for me. I'm using them in a different way because I'm not a transacting realtor, but I still use it. I use it for recruitment. I use it for retention. So I use the Remarketer as well, but just in a different way, and it keeps me organized. You can see your active contacts at the top, your engaged contacts. When it says nurtured contacts, I'm not nurturing these people because it's different for me, but you would see all that. And what's great about the contact manager is it's so easy. If you want to add someone new, you just click add new, fill it out, and save. And, you know, your CRM is only as good as the information you put into it. So if you spend a little time, especially over the holidays when, you know, things are slow a bit, it's the winter time, it's not as active, you know, so January when you're home, just add 2 or 3 contacts a day. Get to the point where you have your 100 contacts in there, 150 contacts, because I'll tell you, it will create business for you. And again, here's newsletters. So I'm not going to go through, like I said, actually showing you how to do everything in Remarketer, because there are videos on our YouTube channel. You can reach out to your manager. I will be happy to show people that. There's also been things doing it. I'm just talking about working your CRM. Newsletters are probably the strongest aspect, in my opinion, in Remarketer. The reason being is because the newsletters are so powerful. You look at the top right-hand side, it says add a custom newsletter. You click on that, it has these little tiles. It says text box, photo, listing, and you can just pull and drag. It just works like little tiles. You can just drag it in and hit save, and you've just created a custom email. It puts a header of your face and your information, a footer, and it looks great. I ask you guys all to try it. So if you look at my list, so for example, when I'm training, it says, you see the, you know, December 22nd newsletter, which is 4 or 5 down. That's the automated one that goes out, and that's great. But if you look at the next 4 above it, they're all custom ones. So for example, I found the perfect house. So that one was where I just picked a property that I thought was relevant when I was showing an agent. We dragged it into there, put perfect the house. Maybe I'll pull in the stats for that area. If it's new market, hey, here's the new market stats on detached houses. It's still, you know, it's still a seller's market, or it's a buyer's market, whatever that situation is, and just hit email and you send it out to who you want. You can send it out to everyone. You can send it out just to your A clients, your B clients, your C. You can send it out to one person. It's so powerful, the newsletters, because you can actually customize them the way you want. They're going to get read. And the beauty of that is once you send an email, you have all the stats on it. So you can take a look at all of that stuff from Remarketer. You just click on the email, go to stats, and it will show you who you sent it to, how many people opened it, how many people didn't open it. And people go, oh, you know, if you got a 30 to 40% open rate, you're doing amazing on emails. For example, if you send out your HomeSpot app to all your clients, and let's say you send it to 30 people and only 10 people opened it, that's a great opportunity, because don't tell them you know this, but you can see who didn't open the app or didn't open the email. So what I would do now is make that list. I would start making those calls saying, hey, it's Steve. Hey, did you see that great new app I sent you? I sent it on email. And they're going to go, oh, no, I didn't see it. Oh, I'll resend it for you. Here, hold on, stay on the line. I'm going to send it right now. It is amazing. Shows you all the solds, the histories. And then all of a sudden you're engaged with that person. You had a reason to call them, and you're giving them something, what I call an item of value. In that case, that item of value is a simple, easy way to search for properties on their phone. And I'll tell you, even people that aren't buying or selling, they're always curious. They want to know their neighbors, what they sold for. They want to know what their cousin just listed their house for. If you get, the more people you have using your app, the more lead generation you have for you. And it all ties right into your CRM in Remarketer. One more thing I wanted to talk about is the brokerage hub. So what I thought was a really neat idea that C21 did, Heritage, is they took all of your tools that we provide free of charge, and they put it all into one place. And that is in Remarketer, your CRM, which is great because you have Broker Bay for booking or sending haves and have-nots, or for looking at exclusive listings. You have Concierge by MoveSnap. You have all the Century 21 suite of stuff that they have. You have the Spotlight listing package. You have your heritage training there. You have your virtual offer. Again, if you don't know what all these things are, please reach out to us, because if you want to know what the value is of being at Century 21 Heritage, it is having all of these tools at your disposal. I'll give you an example. Concierge by MoveSnap probably costs an agent upwards to $1,100 to $1,200 for them to buy that service on their own. We provide that free of charge. It's all included in the fees. So all of these things you see are already there for you. Telelisting, it's included. Virtual offer, it's included. And the great news is in the morning when you wake up, I keep saying you have your tea or coffee, you open up your emails, you open up your calendar and Remarketer, and you have your whole suite of stuff to use to manage your business right there in a web service. It's fantastic. So I just want to leave it at that and say that there's the heritage training. If you want to know more about Remarketer, the CRM that we provide, please just click on that link when you're in Remarketer, or type in Century 21 Heritage Group on YouTube. And there is tons and tons of videos on how to use Remarketer. They're in nice little chunks. They're not too long. It'll be like how to do listing manager, how to work your contact manager. They're really well done. I didn't do them, but they are very well done. And I would say use that. Also reach out to your manager. And Debbie is an expert in Remarketer. So anytime you want to, and I don't want to inundate Debbie with too much work, but if you're deciding you're going to start using your CRM in the new year, Debbie will help you mass upload those contacts. So if you have 100 contacts, I would say put it into a CSV file and send them to Debbie, and she can start getting that up to you. Is there any questions from anyone? I don't know if I went a little too fast in that, but I welcome any questions that anyone has, because I wanted to leave a little time for people to have a discussion. It doesn't matter anything to do with CRMs, just ask away.
Can I ask a question? Not to you, but to the participants. Is anybody willing to answer that they are not using Remarketer? So everybody knows about it. Everybody's using it. Well, that's great news.
That's really good news.
That's
Is
very
anybody
good news.
surprised at what's available on it? Do they all know how to use it? Everyone is so shy today. Don't be shy. This is your opportunity to have a conversation.
There's a lot on it that I'm learning, and I think it is a great program. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Scott. I will say, Scott, that you don't have to know everything. I'm telling you, if you just use the basics, it will increase your business. I mean, I'll be honest, like when I was deciding to do this presentation, I thought there are some things I don't know in Remarketer because I don't use it on a regular basis, and I had to kind of freshen up last night. And then, I did not realize that the HomeSpot app was now integrating into Remarketer, because it wasn't before, because they were still working on that, all the contacts and connections. And now that that's done, it's a changer, a game changer. Any other questions? Anything in the chat?
Vadi had his hand up, but took it down. So I'm not sure if there was a question.
Okay.
Hi, Debbie. I'm Vadi here. How are you?
Good.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Vadi. How are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, actually, yeah. After a couple of conversation with you last time, I'm trying to use the Remarketer now.
Okay.
I'm working on it, so it's a good time. You guys are giving the good presentation today. And yeah, if I have any doubt, I can reach you, Debbie and Steve. Thank you so much. A very good presentation.
Vadi, even if you just want to have a book an hour in and come in and have a one-on-one, I'm more than happy, because sometimes a one-on-one where you can actually sit and go through it with someone is a life changer for your business. So I'm
Sure,
more than
definitely.
happy. If in the new year you want to book an hour in and go through and just ask some basic questions of, what's the easiest way to do this or that, I'm happy to do that.
Oh, thank you, Steve. Thank you so much.
And I do that too. I do
thanks,
that all
Debbie.
the time. Yeah.
I'm not taking away from Debbie, sorry. I apologize.
No, of course
You're
not.
the expert, but
You both are awesome.
is there any other questions from anyone?
Carrie said that she hasn't been using it. So Carrie, reach out to Steve or I, and we can certainly help you get set up. Valerie has recently joined our brokerage, and so she said she's just getting it all set up. But so far she's good, and she's looking forward to using it. Welcome, Valerie.
Okay, so just to add to that, it's not just about your CRM, because what happens is if you start using your CRM, it changes your mindset in terms of real estate, and you start to get organized in your head and on your systems. And then what happens is the organization transcends, and it just makes you a better realtor because you're on top of things. Because I am one to say that before I was with C21, I was at another brokerage. I didn't use a CRM. I didn't know the benefits. I thought, oh yeah, I haven't got that many clients. I'm doing okay. I'm busy. I've always got something going on. I just use my phone. And I remember it was probably about a year after I started, I had gotten a lease for a couple, and I never kept in contact. And I remember I ran into them somewhere, and they said, oh, we just bought our first house. Steve, we were going to reach out to you, but we didn't have your number anymore. We didn't know how to get a hold of you. And our neighbor knew somebody who was a realtor. And I thought to myself, I just lost out on $20,000 because I didn't purchase their house for them. So had I been reaching out to them, it would have been great. And one other quick story, just an example. By sending the auto emails, my very first client was a gentleman named Ed Lowry. It was a Subway TTC employee, and he was looking to buy a house, and we put an offer in. He never ended up getting the house, financing conditions, issues, and that. And I just lost contact. I was not doing my job in terms of keeping in contact with my sphere of influence. And 3 years later, I turned nurturing on and everything. And all of a sudden he reached out to me around Christmas time, this time last year. And he's like, Steve, so great to hear from you. It's great time because I'm actually looking at retiring now and I need to sell my house, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, who is this? And I realized it was an auto email that was sent, and he just thought I sent it to him, and he reached out. And had I not done that, I would not have had that contact. And that's because of the CRM. So I'm just trying to use real life examples of what it can do. And again, you never know where someone is at in life. And just by reaching out to them with your tasks and listen, all of this automation, nothing beats in person or a phone call. It just doesn't. I mean, it's all about relationship building, but you can't be everywhere at once. So sending an email to somebody through the system automated, or a happy birthday in that, it just gets you front and center. It could be that guy gets an email from you at work and says, oh, look at that. Jonathan sent me an email. I forgot all about Jonathan. Then he goes home and his wife says, the neighbors are getting a divorce. They need a realtor. They're selling the house. And he says, oh, I just talked to Jonathan today. You should call him. It's all about that timing. So the CRM is just one of many aspects of things for your business, but it keeps you organized. And I will stop running on, but I just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like our video, please hit the like button, the subscribe, and even the little bell to get notifications, just so you can stay in touch and watch more of these great videos.